So as promised, we're going to be doing some tomahawks in the sous vide. So here we go. I'm going to walk you through the process. We're going to keep it real simple. We're going to go with pepper. We got some real Redmond salt, a little bit of garlic, some fresh rosemary and thyme. So first off, we're just going to salt everything just really heavily. We're going to let that in the sous vide. It's going to go for 4.5 to 5 hours, so it's going to have time to keep breaking down and soaking in real good. It's going to permeate through the fat. So we're going to hit the salt. Make sure you get all the way around the edges as well. So you want to get that all the way covered. Isn't that just beautiful? That's a 2.5 pound each for these guys. So okay, so after you finish the salting of them, you're going to add pepper. Not going to go as heavy on the pepper as we did with the salt. We're going to just get both sides real good. Remember, all this stuff is going to just sit and cook in its own juices for 4 hours, 5 hours. So we're just going to give it a little bit there. Then I'm just going to do this one side at a time. We're going to throw some garlic on there. I'm going to get it spread out a little bit. So we got it all garlic, salt, and peppered. We're going to add some fresh rosemary and thyme here. So all we're going to do is we're going to go right on top. We're just going to set a few sprigs of each on, because that's just going to basically baste in it. So we're going to do that. Just hold on. So after we get them all our seasoning done, we're going to put them in our food saver bags. We just want to make sure we aren't, dragging them across the top. So I'm just going to get them slipped in there real good. Takes up, you have to make a pretty good sized bag. So we got, okay, my rosemary and thyme are still in there good. So I'll make sure they're on top of the meat. Okay. So I saved the ends of the bags because that bone is sharp. You don't want to puncture your bag because it'll end up taking on moisture. So I saved the ends off the butcher bag, which is the same thing, freezer bag. I'm going to slip it over the end of the bone inside the bag. Just to kind of give my, the bone will still cook. So I'm just giving the couple layers of protection for the bag itself, so we don't puncture it. So that's one done. I'm gonna do the other one. Wrap that end of the bone up, just like so. Got it flat on the counter. All our rosemary and thyme are still right on the meat. I'm just going to slide it into the food saver. And just let it take all the air out of it. That's a big bag, so it's going to take quite a while for it to get it fully sucked down. Got the other one going. I threw a little bit more rosemary and thyme with this one in. So just to recap, heavy salt, rosemary, thyme, and garlic. Put them in the freezer bag. Make sure you cover the main bone to keep your bag protected. Okay, as soon as this is done, we're gonna get in the sous vide. So as we're filling the pot here, I'm just gonna set these guys right in there to make sure that we get a good water level, because I don't want to add them after I have water in, or we'll just end up losing some water off the side. So I'm gonna let that fill up. So we got this all together. I went ahead and set the temperature for 140. And the time is going to be set for 4.5 hours. So the goal is going to be, with 140 degrees, the meat is going to cook all the way through to medium rare. The fat's going to start to, it's going to render. That's going to all happen the first two hours or so. After the second hour, third hour, that's really when everything just kind of cooks down and the meat becomes even a lot more tender. And that's really where you get the breakdown of the fats, and the meat becomes tender, and it's just really where it kind of finishes off. So I'll see you here in about 4 hours. So we are done. We're gonna pull this guy out and open it up, and then we're gonna put a sear on it. Okay, let's open it up. Oh yeah. So it is cooked all the way through. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna throw it on the cast iron griddle and give it a good sear with butter. Okay, so we're gonna move it over. We're just gonna give it a good sear. Right on the cast. We just want to get that good glazing, so I'm just going to push down on it so it gets good contact. Okay, I'm going to flip it. Whoa! So if you see the lines are going like this, we're going to try to turn it. So we're just going to flip it this way just to give our grill marks, so we have nice diamond pattern. We're just getting that good glaze on it. Okay, we're going to flip it one more time. See that? That's exactly what we were looking for. To the other side, I'm going to sear the edges with the fat on it. There we have it. So we will wait 5 minutes to let it rest. Just let all the juices soak in, so when we cut it open, it just doesn't lose all the flavor and all the amazingness. So yeah, this is just what we do. We wrap it in tin foil, let it sit for about 5, and it'll be ready to cut up. So, sorry, my kids are upstairs screaming. So I'm gonna cut it right off the bone first. Look at that. Perfect color all the way through. I'm just gonna turn that around. Look at that. Absolutely perfect cut through. So I'm just gonna take a chunk off and try it out for you guys. You guys cannot believe it. It is literally, the sous vide is probably the absolute easiest way to cook something. to get it absolutely perfect, especially on a big chunk of meat like this. You can't fry that, you know, you can't cook that on the grill. You could smoke it to get a closer temperature, but to get such a perfect finish, the sous vide is where it's at. Enjoy.